Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. Today, I'm back with another Mega Movie News Roundup episode for you all. This is a segment on the channel where I cover the most important mega movie news stories to come out this week. And I have 6 topics to go over with you all today, saving the most important topic to the very end, which is my thoughts on the deleted Joker scene from the Batman movie. So stay around throughout the entire video to see my thoughts on that. Also, if I forget any movie news, go ahead and email me at megamikethemovieman@gmail.com. It's completely free. Let me know your name and the movie news story you would like to have featured in a future episode. But without further ado, let's get started. Now to get into our first movie news topic, and this is brought to us by CBR. Now this one is kind of sad, but we have to talk about it. Apparently, we have been all lied to about the Morbius movie. What? I was getting so hyped and so excited for this movie. I was ready to see how it connected to the Spider-Sonyverse, but apparently from people seeing it, they're saying this movie has been heavily edited and has removed crucial scenes that really connect it to the Spider-Verse that we've already seen in the trailers. So I'm going to go through each of those things that were removed. So first, we have the Spider-Man graffiti in the background on a wall that says murderer on it. That apparently has been removed. And that lets us know, hey, this is connected to a Spider-Man, right? There's Spider-Man in the universe. Now, we did have a little news story a while ago that the director said there is a Spider-Man in the Morbius universe, but now this is a little odd. If there is a Spider-Man, why did they remove this Spider-Man image? Very strange. Also, they have removed newspapers that were hinting at a Rhino and Black Cat, so that has apparently been removed. So, okay, now why are we not hinting at these other villain characters? Once again, a little odd. And then also, a lot of scenes with Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, right, played by Michael Keaton, have been taken out and just really one put into the post-credit scene. Wow, this trailer made it seem like Michael Keaton was going to have a major part in this movie, right? Even with some narration going on from Michael Keaton. Why is he no longer having a bigger presence in this movie? This is very odd to me. So, what could be going on here? I mean, there's a few things that could be happening with this, but I don't think any of it's good. So, we know that they took it out for a reason. Now we can speculate, well, what was the reason? Is this movie so bad to where they don't want much connection to the rest of the Spider-Sonyverse? Is it that bad to where, hey, you know what? We gotta release this movie anyway, make the money we can, because it's already done. Might as well get the money that's out there, but then never speak of it again? Not have any connection to the rest of our movies going forward? Now that is a total possibility, and that's the one I'm probably leaning towards, because we've also heard some negative reviews as well. People saying that there's some major issues with this movie, and so why would Sony want to have this in their universe? Especially with how good No Way Home did, right? That movie was awesome. So they want to follow up more of that Spider-Verse with some more enjoyable, more popular movies, and maybe Morbius just isn't the one to do that. And so a little bit unfortunate. And so that is definitely a likely possibility. Another one is that a lot of these scenes maybe were never in the movie in the first place or really intended for the movie, and they were just kind of added on as edits later to market this movie, to get people more excited about the movie, to really basically kind of bait and switch them into, hey, you know what, maybe if you didn't know who Morbius was or you weren't really a Morbius fan, hey, look it, you guys enjoyed Spider-Man No Way Home, we got other Spider-Man stuff in this movie, you should come out and see this movie, even though there really wasn't that stuff in the movie. So it could have been edited in after the fact. That's another possibility. That one I think is a little bit more unlikely, especially because these trailers have just been out for so long, for a couple years now, and we've been seeing this trailer for such a long time. So I don't think they would have gone back and put in, just edit in. I think it was really originally in the movie, but now they have decided to remove it from the movie for the reason I think of it maybe not being such a good movie. Now, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know how the movie's going to be. I want it to be good. I'm still a little excited about the movie, but this definitely has brought my excitement down because, if Sony really did this as kind of a marketing scheme and really false advertising to get you excited just based off a trailer, but then still not include it in the movie or was never in the movie in the first place, then that's really disappointing. That is sad because, that's not gonna be good for the company overall. Because companies that do well in the long run are the honest companies that people can really trust and rely on. And now this kind of sours me a little bit on the Sony name. And I'm a big Sony fan. I'm a big fan of a lot of Sony products. I've enjoyed Sony movies. I mean, Sony really hasn't done us too wrong on their movies before. I mean, most of their Spider-Man movies have been great. Yeah, a couple missteps in there, sure, but overall, they've had some pretty good consistency. But if they're doing something like this as a company, this really disappoints me. And no matter what the reason is here, it's not good. It is not good. Why would they have done this? To me, it's just wow. Either it's the movie's bad, so they took it out after the fact, which is not good, or it was never in the movie in the first place and it was just a complete marketing scheme from the beginning, also not good. So whatever the option is there, it is not good for this movie. It is not good for this company and just gives me great disappointment. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of these lies that Morbius has given us, and are you as disappointed by this news as I am? And now, are you still excited to go see the Morbius movie? Are you still going to give it a chance? Or does this news kind of just say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll watch it sometime down the road, but I'm not excited to rush out to it. Let's have those movie conversations down below. Now to get into our second Mega Move topic, and we have this info from Screen Rant. Apparently, we have a big reveal by the German Loki voice actor that he's working on an MCU movie. Now, this probably wasn't supposed to get leaked out. He probably wasn't supposed to say anything, mum's the word on this one. But apparently, he let leaked out that he's working on an MCU movie. And so, this is kind of exciting for us. I've always enjoyed the Loki character. Now, it doesn't 100% guarantee that it is for Loki. He just says he's working on an MCU movie. But we know he's worked on Loki before, so it's most likely Loki. Yeah, it could be another character. Yes, voice actors do voice a lot of characters, but if you kind of match it up, it seems most likely to be Loki. And so if we go under that assumption that yes, it's Loki, and we're going to be seeing Loki in another big MCU movie, well, what's going to be that movie? Now, if he's already working on this voice work, then it's probably a movie that's going to come up in the near future. And I can, probably see a couple movies in the future here that are coming up for MCU. That could be a possibility for Loki. We have Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. Apparently, we're seeing a lot of characters from different multiverses, and there's probably going to be a lot of cameos in this movie. We already know we're getting characters like Professor X from the X-Men. So why not have Loki show up in this movie? Maybe it's not for a big part, but maybe he shows up, maybe for a funny gag. Who knows? But that is definitely a possibility. And I'd be pretty excited about that. Another option could be the next Thor movie, right? Thor, Love, and Thunder. That one's probably a little bit more likely because Loki always shows up in the Thor movies. He's just like a staple character to that franchise. So to have, Thor, Love, and Thunder, you gotta have Loki, right? You can't not have Loki in there. He has to at least show up for a little bit, even though I know a big focus is probably going to be on Thor, maybe those Guardians of the Galaxy that we see him with as well. That'll probably be a big chunk, but you gotta also have Loki in there, of course, right? So I see that as another likely possibility. So I think it's definitely probably going to be one of those two movies, or maybe both of the movies. That's another possibility. Could be for both of the movies. We're getting a lot of Loki. And Loki has always been an awesome character. I think Hiddleston's performance as him in the movies have been fantastic so far. To me, he's always been one of the more interesting MCU villains, and so he's always entertaining to see on screen. But let me know in the comments below, what MCU movie do you think Loki is going to show up next? And also, are you a big fan of the Loki character in the MCU movies so far? Let's have that conversation down below. Now to get into our third mega movie topic, and we now apparently know the runtime to Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, brought to us by Screen Rant. And so apparently we have the time now at 2 hours and 28 minutes for this movie. Now, to me, that actually makes sense because it's such a multiverse of a movie. It's probably going to be longer than your typical standalone Marvel movie. It makes sense because you have all these characters, you have all these storyline threads you have to get to. Remember, we know we have Wanda showing up in this movie, probably going to be a big part. We have, of course, Doctor Strange. We have all of his other wizard characters, right, that might show up here. And then you have a bunch of cameos, or maybe more than cameos, right? Like a Professor X for X-Men. He's definitely in the movie. And we'll probably get some more characters that end up showing up. We just talked about, hey, what if Loki showed up in this movie? So you definitely have a lot of characters to work with and a lot of story to work with here. So to me, it being on the longer side, 2 hours and 28 minutes, that makes sense for a movie like this. And you know what? I think this is a solid runtime. I don't mind this at all. We're still under 2 hours and a half. If it did get over 2 hours and a half, then I'd be like, this should have been a shorter movie. But still under 2 hours and a half. It's not going to close to 3 hours like the Batman movie. Whoo, that movie was a very long movie. So that was a tough one, right? To get through that length of a movie. The only Marvel movies that I believe are longer than this one are the Eternals, Infinity War, and Endgame, if I'm remembering correctly, that are Marvel movies. And so, you know what? This one, I think, has hopefully the perfect runtime for this story. You know what? It's really tough to, judge a movie just based off of the runtime, right? The runtime doesn't mean a whole lot. It doesn't mean, oh, is this movie going to be a good movie, whether you take out 30 minutes or add 30 minutes? We won't know what the perfect runtime is till we see the movie. If we see the movie and we're like, hey, you know what? It could have been 10, 15 minutes shorter. We could have cut a scene here and there. Then we could say that, right? But we have to see the movie first to know, is this the perfect runtime for this movie? There's a chance we see this movie and we're like, you know what? It was getting really good, and I could have added maybe 5 or 10 minutes to this movie to really flesh out this one scene. That's another possibility. So maybe it's too short of a movie, right? So it could be too long of a movie, could be too short of a movie, or it could be the perfect runtime, which I'm hoping for. But based off of what we know of the story so far, of the characters that are going to show up so far, to me, it makes sense to be on a little bit longer of a runtime. But let me know in the comments below. Does this runtime for Doctor Strange 2 make sense to you? Are you okay with this longer runtime? Do you think it's crucial for a movie like this? Or does the longer runtime kind of turn you off from going to the movie theaters on this one? Let's have that movie discussion down below. Now to get into our fourth movie topic, and this is brought to us by The Hollywood Reporter. We gotta talk about the Marilyn Monroe movie that is going straight to Netflix. Now, apparently this movie received a NC-17 rating from the Motion Picture Association. Now, it's rare for a movie to get this kind of rating. At first we may have thought, oh, maybe it would get an R rating, because most creators will try to get their movies down to an R level so it could be played in more theaters, because if you get an NC-17 rating, a lot of theaters won't even play the movie. So usually they try to edit some stuff out to get it to a R rating at the maximum, if not, of course, lower than that. But to see this movie got an NC-17 rating, I mean, what could this mean? Well, obviously, there's definitely going to be some content in here that's going to be probably pretty extreme because it's at that next level. And so it's kind of, just a caution at first where it's like, maybe if you're a little squeamish on certain things, then, just be warned before you click play on this on Netflix. So that is one point I did want to bring up. There could definitely be some really, tough stuff in here for certain individuals to get through. So, yeah, just be cautious of that a little bit. Also, though, is this movie going to stick with its NC-17 rating, or is it going to be edited down to an R rating before Netflix actually releases it on its service? Now, that is a possibility. They've already talked about bringing an editor on board to edit a certain scene. And so, yeah, maybe this movie could get down to more of an R rating. But for Netflix, that probably doesn't mean too much because remember, it's going to a streaming service going to Netflix. It's not going to, a movie theater specifically. Even though it might be released in some movie theaters, not too sure on that one. But yeah, the main purpose is for a streaming platform for Netflix. So the rating doesn't mean a whole lot now, I guess, in terms of release of the movie. But it's still kind of interesting just to think about and talk about. So, well, let's see. Let's see if Netflix thinks this is, maybe a little too extreme. Are they going to pull back on it a little bit more? Are they going to edit it some more to get it down a little bit? For maybe to encourage more people to be more okay watching it on their streaming platform. That's another possibility. Or are they going to keep most of the movie intact to give us what the creator's vision truly was for a movie like this? So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see and kind of see how this movie plays out. I am interested in the movie because I just want to learn a little bit more about Marilyn Monroe because I know, she was an icon and you know all the images of who Marilyn Monroe looked like, right? But I really don't know too much about the person specifically, right? The human side, what was her journey? I did hear that there was actually quite a bit of tragic stuff in her life. So, I didn't really know much about that before. So I am interested in seeing this movie just more for informational purposes to learn more about this human and to see what her story was. So I am intrigued by this movie. To me, the rating doesn't necessarily make me more or less intrigued. I was still just intrigued with this movie based on it being Marilyn Monroe and wanting to know more about that person. So, you know what? I'm going to give this movie a try and I will definitely review it and let you know how extreme this movie does get. I will definitely warn everyone of that when this movie does come out. But let me know in the comments below. Are you excited for this Marilyn Monroe movie? What do you think of the rating it received and how extreme do you think this movie might be? Let's have those movie discussions down below. Now to get into our fifth mega movie news topic, and apparently we have Nova. Yes, the character Nova joining the MCU. Apparently in a movie or TV show, they have something in development. They have the same writer, I believe, that worked on Moon Knight. So that's pretty interesting. Well, we don't know how Moon Knight really turned out yet because I haven't seen the show, so can't really give my thoughts on that yet. But from what I've heard from people that have seen the show, it's actually pretty good. So if we got a good writer attached to the project, that is always a plus. But the Nova character, right? The Nova Corps. I mean, this is really cool. I always liked the way the Nova character looked. Now, I don't know too much about the Nova character specifically. I know a lot of people do enjoy this character. I just always think the character has looked really cool. And so to get more superhero characters, I'm always for that. Now, I do hope it's a movie just because, of course, as the movie man, right? I prefer movies over TV shows. But, I'll take a TV show and definitely check it out. But if it can be a movie, I think that'd be really epic, especially to see a really big budget go for a couple-hour movie, especially like a galactic movie like this, because, Nova's a very galactic character, kind of like a Captain Marvel type of character, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? We get more space. And so I think that would be really exciting. Also, we've heard a little bit about the Nova Corps before, right, with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And what would be really cool would be like a flashback sequence of showing us how Thanos got one of those Infinity Stones from the Nova Corps. Remember, the Guardians left one there in safekeeping, but then Thanos got that one. But we never seen that scene where he actually went there and just probably wreaked havoc. And that'd be kind of a cool way for this movie or TV show to open up, hopefully a movie. I think that would be an epic scene if they got to do that. Definitely do that, Marvel. That'd be super exciting. But then, yeah, just to learn more about the Nova character himself, the Nova Corpse, and apparently the Nova character is fairly powerful. So, I mean, how powerful are they going to make him in this project? That would be interesting. Is he going to be now one of the most powerful characters, like a Captain Marvel? And, they kind of have to, be cautious of that they're not going too powerful, just kind of upping one and another too much, and then also you get confused on, hey, how powerful is this character in relation to that. They definitely, hopefully they explain that and make it make sense overall. But yeah, I am totally down for this movie. Any more superhero movies we can get or projects, I will definitely take. And you know what? I'm pretty excited about this one just because I don't really know a whole lot about the character. So this is one where I'm going to be going in a little bit more blind on, but definitely hoping for something good. But let me know in the comments below. Are you a big fan of the Nova character? Are you excited for this Nova MCU project? Where do you think the story is going to go with this one? Let's have that movie discussion down below. Now to get into our sixth and final mega movie news topic for today, we have to talk about that Joker scene that was deleted from the Batman movie that is now online. So I watched the scene, and to me, I was not impressed, unfortunately. But you know me, I wasn't like a huge, massive fan of the Batman movie. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. And to me, I'm glad they took out this Joker scene because the movie was already super long, and this would have just added more unnecessary time to the movie, in my opinion, because Joker wasn't really a central character in the movie, right? Just got that kind of little tease at the end with that ending scene. I even think maybe that could have been taken out because once again, Joker wasn't a central character in that movie, or maybe have put that one towards a post-credit scene. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think we needed Joker in this movie. So the scene is interesting when you take a look at it. Apparently, like Batman's going to the Joker for help and advice, but that is a little odd too because why is Batman going to the Joker? Is he really that desperate? Is he really not that competent enough to, figure out these Riddler clues or what's really going on with the villain to have to now go to another villain and the Joker? And the Joker is supposed to be just pure evil. So, like, you still have that relationship with Joker? I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the scene overall. And it was kind of odd too. Like, Batman gives him the file, and then Joker takes a quick look at it and just knows everything about the Riddler and the Riddler's plot and all this connection. And it's like, what? That like happened so quick. It's not like Batman was like, hey, take a few days, read this over, and then we'll have another meeting, some coffee later on, and we'll talk about it. No, it's like, here's the files, and then like Joker just starts going off and saying all this stuff. So I did think that was a little odd as well. That could have been another reason why they took this scene out, just because it didn't make a whole lot of sense. And then also, it would have made Batman look kind of incompetent. Even though I know this is year two Batman, so he's still learning, but still, I just wasn't feeling it. I think it would have brought down the Batman character a little bit more for me, and I don't like that. And then this Joker character, he's all right. To me, I don't think he's great or the best Joker of all time. He probably is, one of my least favorite Jokers so far, but we haven't gotten a lot of him, so it's not fair to give a full-on assessment of like, oh, this is going to be a terrible Joker character. No, this Joker could be absolutely awesome, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I mean, he was doing a good job giving his performance as best he could, and it was okay, but I don't know. I didn't like it overall. He looks fine. It's a different look for the Joker. The face is really like messed up and stuff. And so I think the Joker looks okay. It's not like my favorite look to the Joker, but I mean it is a different take on it. So I guess it does fit with this Matt Reeves universe. So it makes sense for that. But overall, I just don't like knowing that, oh, Joker is already captured. Joker is already in Arkham Asylum, And that part I don't like because it's like, you know what? I want our introduction to the Joker to be really strong and a powerful scene. Like the Dark Knight gave us a really epic scene. I don't want, a lot of me knowing the Joker already, of him just being already have been captured by Batman. And, Joker is supposed to be a really, powerful villain to the Batman, right? One of the tougher ones to deal with. To me, he's not like a starting out villain. To me, he's a villain we should see later. But apparently, Batman has already captured the Joker, already dealt with him, and, got the best of him, and now he's locked up, right? And so, once again, it's a little odd because it's like, okay, well, you're saying the Riddler is, a bigger level threat than the Joker. I don't really like that personally. I think the Joker should be one of the bigger threats for Batman. And so, yeah, just all around, I don't like the scene overall. Even just seeing it as a scene, I wasn't that entertained by it. I wasn't that excited about it. And then in terms of the context of it fitting into the Batman movie, I don't think it would have worked. So I'm glad they deleted that scene out. And I would have deleted out that other Joker scene. And actually, I probably wouldn't have included the Joker at all in this Batman set of movies, at least not right away. Maybe second movie or even third movie. But yeah, we've been getting too much Joker anyway. Let's get some other Batman villains in there. There's so many other good Batman villains we haven't seen yet, and we always go back to the Joker. And I know the Joker is my favorite villain of all time. He's my favorite character. Yes, I like seeing the Joker. I do. But I don't want to diminish the Joker as well by always getting the Joker. I want to see some other villains first before we get to the Joker again, just to give us some variety, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, just overall, wasn't like super excited by this scene. I know other people love this scene, but to me, it really did not do much for me. And it does get me a little bit more worried for the next future movie. If, this is going to be the Joker that's going to be the main character in the next movie, I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling that. Now, what I would like them to do with this is have this Joker be the main villain of the Arkham Asylum show. Now, if he was the main villain of the Arkham Asylum show, I would like that. I think that would be a really cool idea. So we get our Joker fix in the show, but in the movies, we get some new, different villains we haven't experienced before. That's how I would go about it. But let me know in the comments below. When you've seen this deleted scene, did you really like it? Do you think they should have left it into the Batman movie? Or are you happy like me that they actually took out this scene? And what do you do with the Joker going forward? Let me know your story ideas down below. So that will do it for another Mega Movie News Roundup episode. This was episode 12. If you missed the other Mega Movie News Roundup episodes, definitely check those out. I'll leave a couple of them in the description below. There's been so much good movie news lately. Definitely want to get caught up on all of that. Also, if you're just discovering the channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. I'm going to get you tons of future movie news, movie reviews, rankings, movie hauls, unboxings, you name it. We'll talk all things movies on this channel. I don't want you to miss any of that entertainment value. So subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss when I post a video.
Come on, hit me! Let's put a smile on that face.
Also, like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.